Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is by chance the first time you're seeing any of my videos, my name is Erica, and welcome to a little vlog where we're gonna chat everything that you need to pack for a trip to Japan. So I just got back from a 10-day trip to Japan. We went to all the major stops: Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Tokyo Disney. And usually when I do like a big trip, I always like to film a pack with me like before I go. But this time around, I was like, I think I'm gonna wait to kind of talk about packing for Japan until I go, because before this trip, I had never been to Japan, so it kind of felt like not genuine for me to be like, oh, like here's what you should pack when I've never been before and I didn't really know what to pack. So I did a lot of research before I went. I watched a lot of YouTube videos like this. So I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you're probably planning a trip to Japan, which is so exciting. And yeah, I thought, I might as well film this after I get back from Japan. And then that way I can really share like what was worth packing, what wasn't, what I recommend, and things like that. So that's what we're going to get into in today's vlog. So while we were in Japan, and basically right when we got back and I was unpacking my suitcase, I started to write down all of the notes, all the things I wanted to share with you guys in this video. So to start things off, I thought we'd talk about luggage specifically. So this right behind me is everything I brought. So this was the backpack that I brought on the plane, and then this was my suitcase. This is my purse, which we'll get into in a second, and I'll show you guys like everything that I packed with me when we were out exploring in Japan. But first, I thought we'd just kind of focus on the luggage that I brought. So this is my away suitcase that I brought to Japan. This is the medium checked luggage size suitcase, and as you can tell, she has been very much loved and used throughout the years. I've had this suitcase for many years. She's gone on all of my big trips, and I really do recommend away suitcases. Now, I am the type of person that like I really don't want to spend more than I have to unless I really think it does make a difference, and I truly do think that away is worth the investment. My best tip is, if you are like looking at buying an away suitcase, is to check their website for sales, because they do have sales periodically, and you can really save a good amount of money if you buy the luggage when they're having a sale. That is what I've done with all of my away suitcases. Like, I've always waited until that there was some kind of sale so that way I could try and save a little bit of money. Like I mentioned, this is the medium size checked suitcase, and I think the starting cost for this is around $300. So it is like an investment, but just look for those sales so that way you can save a little bit of money. But all of the away suitcases have like a lifetime guarantee, and we have had instances where like, well, one funny story, our dog chewed one of the wheels of our suitcase, and we emailed away about it, and they're like, oh yeah, no problem. And they sent us like more than enough wheels for our suitcase. So they have really good customer service, and it really is a good like sturdy suitcase, which you definitely need when you are traveling. And I will say, this size suitcase really did work well for me for our 10-day trip. Now, when I was doing research on what to pack for Japan, a lot of people did suggest bringing a carry-on, but I knew, we were going for 10 days, so I was going to be bringing a lot of clothes, and I was going to Japan, so I knew I was going to be buying a lot of stuff that I wanted to bring home. So I was like, I just don't think a carry-on was going to work for me. The reason that people say to bring a carry-on is, one, like when you're just traveling around the city, you're going from hotel to hotel, you're getting on the trains, it's easier to have a carry-on suitcase, which is 100% true. And when you do ride like the bigger trains, like the bullet train that takes you from Tokyo to Kyoto, small suitcases can go like above you, like by your seat, but the big suitcases you have to like have a like reserved spot for. I really didn't run into this issue. Like, we didn't have any issues with like where our suitcases were on the trains. I'm not gonna lie to you though, like when we got off the plane in Tokyo and we had to get to our hotel and we were on those trains, like just like the subway trains, it was annoying to have a big suitcase, but I would rather just like have a little bit of that annoyance in between, hotels and getting on the subway and the trains with the big suitcase than to have a carry-on and not have enough space. And another thing to keep in mind when it comes to the size of luggage that you're bringing is that a lot of Japan hotel rooms are not very big. So if you're bringing a bigger suitcase, odds are it's going to take up a good amount of space in your hotel room. You're not going to have like a hotel room where you have a big closet that you can like shove your suitcase in and you don't have to like worry about it, that it's not in the way. Like, there might be instances where your suitcase is just going to be like kind of in the way. It's going to be in the middle of the room. I remember in our Kyoto hotel, like it was such a small hotel that I think my suitcase was basically right by the front door. And every time we'd go to leave, we'd have to like move it so that way we could get out the door. But I still think it was worth it to have this size suitcase for myself. Again, I like to have some options when it comes to clothes. I like to pack at least 2 pairs of shoes, and I did want space for all the souvenirs that I brought home. So if you're also like that and you're like, oh, I just can't see myself bringing a carry-on, you're going to be fine with a check suitcase. Just know that it's going to take up space in your hotel room, and it's going to be a little bit annoying when you're traveling in between hotels, but you'll survive. It's really not that big a deal. And then this is my travel backpack, but I'm not going to talk too much about this bag. Now, this is not from Away though. This is actually from Amazon, so it's a very affordable backpack. I've had this for I think like 2 years now, and it's gone on literally every trip with me. It's a very affordable backpack, and while I'm saying this, I will just have my plug right here that anything that I can have linked, whether it's from my Amazon storefront or just the Away suitcase, I'll have everything linked down in the description box for you guys, just in case you are interested. But basically in this bag, I just kind of pack all of my personal stuff, like my makeup bag, toiletry bag, any tech, my camera, my phone, my computer, basically all of that will go in here. What I will say about this bag though, and that I really love about it, is it has so many pockets and compartments, which I love because it really helps you stay organized. And then next I want to show you guys what I packed in my purse while we were out exploring in Japan. So first of all, let me talk about this bag because I love this bag so much. So I bought this bag right before our Japan trip. It's actually like a purse from Away, and I really wanted to make a good investment on a really nice bag to bring with me like on all of my travels. But honestly, since I've been home, I use this bag like all the time now. So what I really love about it is first, it has an adjustable strap, so you can wear it crossbody or you can wear it like as a shoulder bag. It's a little bit more of like a slouchy shoulder bag, but I still like that it gives you that option. And this bag has 2 really cool pockets that I love. The first is this pocket on the very front. So you have this zipper pocket right here, and really in here I store my wallet and then also my passport. But I love that it's like right there in the front. It feels very like secure and like safe with it being right here instead of just like in the main compartment. And then probably my favorite like little like pocket though is this little pocket that it has in the strap, and it's big enough to have like a lip gloss or a chapstick. And as someone who has very dry lips, I always find it so annoying to try and dig through my purse to find my chapstick, but fear not, because with this Away purse, you can just like easily unzip right here, put your chapstick on and put it back. I just think that's such a nice little feature. And I also really love that the strap is like this nice wide strap. It's very comfortable. I feel like if you're wearing like a tank top or something, it's not gonna like rub on you or anything like that. And then even in the back though, like this adjustable part of the strap is nice and thick too, and is like a nice material. And then I thought I'd show you guys basically everything that I brought with me every day while we were out in Japan. So first, like I just showed you, in this front pocket here, I had my passport, my wallet. This is also a really good pocket to put your phone in. So sometimes I would put my phone in there as well. And then like I just showed you, in this little pocket, I had my chapstick. And then in the main compartment, we have a bunch of random stuff, but sunglasses, a little mini hairbrush and mirror, a little lotion because I get really dry hands as well, hand sanitizer, portable charger, my camera, which I'm using right now, a pair of mittens, which was really nice to have because we went to Japan in like late fall. So in the mornings and also in the evenings, it was a little bit chilly. So it was nice to just throw on a pair of mittens. And then I did pack just a little tote bag. Now this one I did get while I was in Japan, but I would suggest if you have room in your bag, just packing like a little like shopping bag or like reusable bag. So that way when you are out shopping in Japan and you're buying a lot of things, which you will probably end up doing because that's what Japan does to you, you can use this as your little shopping bag. And then the other 2 things that I packed in here, which I don't actually have in the bag right now, is one, a water bottle, which was nice to have. And this bag is definitely big enough to fit a water bottle. And then also a little coin purse. Now, when you're in Japan, you're gonna be having a lot of yen on you, a lot of coin. You use it for vending machines, for little capsule toys and all of that. So I would recommend just bringing like a little bag just to keep all of your coins in. And then the very last thing I will say about this bag, sometimes when we were out, like I might be wearing a sweatshirt and I got a little hot, I could easily like roll up that sweatshirt and put it in this purse. Was it snug? Yes, but it did fit. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, now that we talked about luggage and also what I packed in my purse, let's talk about clothing. So when we went to Japan, like I said, we were there late fall, early December. And you know what? I remember I took a screenshot of the weather we had that week. So let me pull that up. Okay, so when we were in Japan, it was a high of like 60, 62 and a low of 46. And mostly sunny, partly cloudy. We had a little bit of rain on one of our days at the parks, I remember. But for the most part, it was pretty like mild temperatures and like pretty dry weather. Like there wasn't a ton of rain. So basically what I packed was like a lot of sweaters, like this one I'm wearing. Actually, I'm pretty sure I packed this sweater for Japan. Sweaters, long sleeves. I did bring some t-shirts, but a lot of like light jackets. I'm gonna go ahead and insert just like a few photos of examples of what I wore in Japan. But for the most part, I didn't have to bring anything too heavy. The mittens did really help when it was really cold out. That was something really easy that I could take off once it was midday and it was a little bit warmer out. I remember one day I thought I was going to be really cold and I wore like a tank top and then a sweater and a jacket, but by midday I was sweating like because you're walking around so much, you're also going inside a lot of places. So I would say if you're traveling around that time of year, like just a sweater and a light jacket is going to be plenty. But if you are going in the summer, I hear it is very, very, very hot. So I would definitely recommend looking up like what to wear in the summertime because it's very hot and humid there and also very rainy that time of year. But really the number one thing I would say to keep in mind when you're packing for like what to wear, what kind of clothes to bring modest clothing. Like the Japanese dress very modestly, nothing skin tight, nothing low cut, nothing too revealing. I found just wearing like jeans and sweaters and like t-shirts that, you know, were like a little bit more high collared. I felt very comfortable, very respected in, especially, you know, when I'm traveling to a different country, a different culture, I want to be respectful of that culture. And I really found like that the Japanese are just very clean and neat people. Like there's not really a lot of loud clothing or ripped jeans or anything like that. And on that same wavelength of dressing very modest in Japan, I had heard before I went that the Japanese really don't wear leggings and that you shouldn't really wear leggings while you're there. And I was hoping that that was going to be wrong. And I did bring a pair of leggings just in case. But I will say I 100% found that to be true. Like, I don't think I would have felt very comfortable at all wearing leggings while I was in Japan. However, I did end up wearing them one day, and that day was at the parks. So we were at Tokyo Disney. It was our second day at the parks, and I was like, you know what? If there's one day that I feel somewhat comfortable wearing leggings, it's going to be today, because I don't know about you, but I can't wear jeans for 10 days in a row. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear leggings today. And it was totally fine. I mean, when you're at the parks, I feel like it's just even more casual than when you're just out like in the city. And I will say there were a lot of like other tourists at the parks, a lot of other Americans that were wearing leggings too. So I didn't feel as uncomfortable wearing leggings, but definitely outside of the parks, I would not wear leggings. So unfortunately, I would say don't pack leggings. I mean, I guess you can pack them. Like if you want to wear them around in your hotel room, but I really wouldn't plan on revolving outfits around them when you are out exploring. And then when it comes to shoes, I thought I'd show you guys the shoes that I did pack. Now, of course, you probably already know this, but bring comfortable shoes. I mean, this is kind of an obvious one, but you really do walk a lot in Japan. So bring good, comfortable shoes, good walking shoes, shoes that you've broken in, you know the gist. But if in case you are curious, these are the pair of shoes that I brought. So first is this pair of Allbirds tennis shoes. I really love Allbirds, have for years. This is a new pair that I got a few months before the trip, and I really love them. And then I brought just a pair of like little black Chelsea boots. These are from Amazon actually, so I can have them linked down below. I'll also have Allbirds linked as well. But yeah, these were honestly really comfortable shoes, and these ones were really affordable. I'm pretty sure they were under $50. So I'll have that linked for you guys down in the description box. And then next, let's talk toiletries. And I have some really good news for you guys in this category. And that is you can pack really, really light when it comes to toiletries, because the Japanese love to give away toiletries like it's free candy. And I'm not just talking shampoo and conditioner and like a little body lotion. They will give you everything under the sun. I mean, I came home with face masks, with tea, with hair masks. Like, they go all out when it comes to toiletries, and it's honestly so nice. And it's all like really good quality. I know for me personally, sometimes when I travel, I just end up bringing my own shampoo and conditioner because I find that a lot of hotel shampoo and conditioners are honestly crap, and my hair is really like not great after, or it's like super tangled, and I just don't want to mess with that. I found totally the opposite in Japan. Like, all the hotel shampoo and conditioners that I used were honestly really good quality. My hair was like really nice after I used them. And truly, the hotels really just provide everything for you. There was also like a lot of toothbrushes and razors. So if you don't even feel like packing that, you don't have to. I mean, I personally would still probably want to bring my toothbrush, but in case you forget it, like, you don't have to worry about it. So I would honestly say when it comes to your toiletries, I mean, if there's anything that you really can't live without or something you're really particular about, pack that. But for the most part, don't feel like you need to pack conditioner, shampoo, all of that, like lotion. They're going to have that there, and it is honestly going to be a really good quality. And you know what? Even as I'm thinking about it, even for some reason your hotel does not have whatever toiletry product you need, you can easily find it like at 7-Eleven or at Don Quixote stores, which are these giant mega stores with like literally everything and anything you can think of. They have a whole floor of like beauty products. It's honestly like a really fun place to go and try different like beauty products, different toiletries, skincare, all of that. So you honestly could just kind of like have fun with that if you want. So you can kind of save room in your suitcase and maybe buy some of it there to bring home with you. So yeah, I just kind of want to also make that point as well. But guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you did find this video helpful, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you have seriously any other questions about what to pack for Japan, anything that I miss, please drop your questions down in the comments and I will be sure to answer them. Also, please let me know when you're going to Japan, what time of year you're going, what are you going to do, what are you most looking forward to? I'm like seriously so excited for you. You're going to love Japan so much. I've already been talking to Josh. I'm like, okay, when can we like go back to Japan, just because we loved it so much. So I am so excited for you to go on this trip. And if you guys not watch our Japan travel vlogs, definitely check those out as well. If you are interested in those, I'll have them linked down in the description box as well. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, drop a little suitcase emoji down in the comments so that way I know you made it to the end of the video. And before you go, make sure you subscribe so that way you don't miss out on any of our upcoming adventures. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye!